wasn't, and she says, I'm scared, I'm stuck in the car. They said, where's your family? She said, I'm surrounded by their corpses, they're dead. She's 6. He tries to read Quran to her. He tells her, reassure her, we will send the ambulance. The genociders were so merciless. When the ambulance turned up 24 hours, the tanks blew up the ambulance. Hind, 6 years old, died alone, surrounded by the corpses of her family. Sidra was playing with her cousin, running on the road. They told them, go to the south, we won't touch the south. But they lied. The liars, they lied. They bombed the north and then bombed the south. Sidra, the pictures went viral because of you. You showed the world. She was hanging from the wall with her legs blown off. You have exposed the genociders, which is why they are ringing the bells to get you to be quiet, which is why they are waiting for us to slip up to expose us. They are worried that now that the world has seen the truth, the highest Jewish representative in the US in the Senate, Chuck Schumer himself, comes out and says Israel is on course to becoming a pariah state. Elizabeth Warren says that if the law is to be applied, Israel is committing genocide. Even the right-wingers in Donald Trump's rally, they're chanting genocide Joe, genocide Joe. You entered areas Palestine couldn't enter before. You delivered the message to corners it couldn't reach before. It wasn't because of the mainstream media. It was you. You carried the voice. You are making the change. You are changing the world. They are desperate for you to go home. They want you to pack your tents and go home. Tell them and roar, we're not going home until Palestine is free. Roar and let them hear it. I bring you greetings from the United Kingdom, where the encampments have been set up. I bring you greetings from the United States, where I came from, where the encampments have been set up. I travel 24 hours to the other side of the world, and I see the same fire and passion as I saw in those countries. And this is what terrifies them. What terrifies them is no matter how many Palestinians they kill, the world is shifting. Everybody now sees the truth. And even if there is a ceasefire tomorrow, no one will say Israel won. Instead, this is the turning point. As it was when your predecessors encamped against Vietnam, as it was when they encamped against Iraq, as it was when they encamped against Afghanistan. Celebrate. History will record. You were here at the turning point when Palestine became en route to be free. Celebrate, roar. Don't leave this place. Keep going. And just as the universities in the US are beginning to divest, so will Australian universities until the apartheid is isolated, until the apartheid is torn down. And I warn you, I leave you with a warning on my last words. Do not let them come at you with anti-Semitism, for they are starting to rebrand what anti-Semitism is. They came to the Muslims and said Muslims are anti-Semites, ignoring that when the second Caliph Umar ibn Khattab entered Jerusalem, he brought the Jews back because they'd been kicked out by the Romans. When Saladin entered Jerusalem, he brought the Jews back that were kicked out by the Crusaders. Sultan Bayezid sent the boats to Spain because Isabella kicked out the Jews from Spain. He sent the boats to bring them. And after the Holocaust, an anti-Semitic European phenomenon, the Jews went to the only haven they knew. They came to Muslim lands in Palestine and unfurled the banner, please don't do to us what the Europeans did to us. Do not let them change history. The anti-Semites are the ones supporting genocide. The anti-Semites are the ones who are supporting the massacre of the Semites of whom the Palestinians belong. I, as a Semite, make it absolutely clear. The aim of the Palestinians is justice. It's to return home. The Palestinians are not the ones who called for genocide. They called for coexistence. But this rabid Zionist project wants to eradicate Palestine. You saw Netanyahu in the United Nations holding up the map that erased Palestine. But Palestine lives in your hearts, and it roars from your hearts, and the Zionist project is on its last legs. Free, free Palestine, from the river to the sea. Palestine, Assalamu alaikum.